Nergens komt de sound van het noorden beter tot zijn recht als in Manchester. Daarom in Onrust nu een special over deze popstad.
The woman makes the men all pause. And if you got a woman, she might make you forget yours. I don't think I can handle. She goes channel to channel. Oh, looking for that hero. She watched Channel Zero.
It's pathetic that people think London is the capital of Britain, because creatively it's not and it hasn't been.
It's the outsiders really who are misunderstanding the new Manchester scene. Inspiral, Stone Roses, Happy Mondays, pillage and plunder from lots of different musical styles.
I don't want to warm up for the Rolling Stones in 1989. I think we could be the biggest band ever.
Happy Mondays have offered an alternative to Curiosity Killed the Cat.
50,000 shirts printed, packaged and sold with the name Inspiral carpets.
This is fashion, this is 90s. Yeah. This is Joe Blogs, this is Manchester.
Anybody that wants to shout, keep banging him at 10 o'clock.
One or two of these parties have actually been held in my constituency, Ribble Valley.
We're locked in our own homes.
The bands and the fans and the press have formed a kind of unholy alliance, a triangle, feeding off each other. The Manchester thing's been growing. You can't ever say that it went away. Between punk and now, the two sort of outbursts of Manchester activity, you've had New Order and the Smiths, who are probably the two most important British rock bands of the 80s. So it's never been away.
You don't see everyone else around the country walking around in flares. They do in Manchester. And they do because it gets up the nose of people. And that's what it's all about, ultimately. Getting up the nose of people is a lot to do with the Mancunian music scene.
It's sort of a really sort of Thatcherite thing. Thatcher scared everybody to death and they all got off the bottoms and started to do something quick before they took the dole off them, you know.
The Beatles have been from Manchester and they've made a load of money out of a scene that came out of Manchester and then had pissed off to London and spent it all in Savile Row building Apple down there. They wouldn't be very popular here. In Liverpool, everyone thinks that's great, you know. Yeah, you make it, you go to London. And I think the difference it makes to Manchester, 10cc, for example, they make a load of cash. They built Strawberry Studios in the early 70s, so that when we Factory comes on stream as a record company, we have an international recording facility just around the corner from us. Similarly, then New Order make a whole pile of money, and they're able to, together with other people, they're able to build the Hacienda, which is so vital to what's happened in the second half of the 80s in this town.
The fact there's a buoyant club scene in the town centre means that Manchester will breed a certain kind of fusion of what music is naturally coming from there, plus dance music, because that's the essence of clubs.
House music was a minority dance music out of Chicago and later Detroit in the States that started servicing in the early 80s. Maybe 82, 83 were the first real imports of that kind of music. It was stripped down music, stripped to the bone, more rhythm track than anything else. The occasional lyric, but the rhythm track and the bass line was everything.
Everyone's got their local where they just go and they drink and dance, or their friends go. And it happens at the Hacienda, it plays house music and dance music, and has been doing for 2 or 3 years. And we like to go there, and I think they contribute a lot to the energy of that club and how it is now.
This is the Hacienda. You know, it may not look much, but it is the cathedral to house music in Britain. Life-size picture of Tony Wilson's head inside there. This is one rocking gap. This is the gateway to the dance floor.
There probably is twice as many men as there are women, but you don't tend to notice it the same because everyone's dressed brightly, you know what I mean? And I think the great thing is that the podiums that you can climb onto that hold sort of like, say, 10, 12 people, and the stage that holds possibly like 100. And everyone's chanting to each other and everyone's arms are going out to each other in time. Everyone dances in time, everyone moves in time to the music.
Wacky guy.
I think it's a combination of an explosion of musical style and self-marketing. I mean, it has radio stations, it has the press, it has a TV station. It has all of these things with which to express itself, where a lot of other cities don't. And I think there's a great entrepreneurial skill that comes from Manchester.
Fashion from 1985 onwards just declined. It was sombre, serious, very snobbish, and then acid house came along and just tore it all to pieces, really. You couldn't go out dancing in a Yohji Yamamoto suit because you'd wreck it.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm always your very best.
Certain people in Manchester dressing the kids up as hippies. I think it's okay taking snippets of ideas from the past, but not a total look. And I think we all hated hippies the first time around, and we hate them this time as well.
It amazes me through mail order and the people that come and shop here how people want to wear Manchester shirts who live in Cornwall and Edinburgh, you know, and things like that. When the Manchester Euphoria started, about 2-3 years ago, and it was fused with all musical, fashion, Affleck's Palace, you know, which is like people come from all over the country to shop here and see the place. When the fusion came, we was looking for the ultimate statement. And on the 6th day, God created man. Chester.
Shall we take a trip?
Because ecstasy is expensive, what I noticed recently was that a lot of young people actually use LSD. Because, I mean, it costs £5 and you share it with a friend. So for £2.50, you know, you're having like a laugh all night.
When you take ecstasy, just puts you in a state of mind where if you wear something tight, it just makes you feel uncomfortable. That is the reason for the loose-fitting clothes, if people were honest about it.
Basically, rock bands took on the dance music. The catalyst for that was the drug ecstasy. I mean, I've got no doubt about that. E has one amazing property. It can make people who wouldn't normally want to do so dance. It can make white men dance.
Let's rock!
The trouble with the licensing laws in this country, you get to 2 o'clock and everybody was like, yeah, this is absolutely brilliant, like, let's carry on. Oh no, I'm sorry, you can't. So it was fulfilling a need for people. People would meet on the pub car park, or people would like go to a garage, or even the Kentucky Fried Chicken between Blackburn and Preston, and people would just get to hear about it and all pile up there, and by 2 o'clock in the morning there's sort of 6,000 people. There's a lot of disused factories in Blackburn because all the mills are shut down and that. The atmosphere at the warehouse is so similar to the Hacienda, which is why the Hacienda is so good, because rather than being in some squatty little nightclub, which is like with a low ceiling, which is like what most nightclubs are like, it was like being in an aircraft hangar.
Hey DJ, where's the bass?
This is Affleck's Palace, which is the place to hang out in Manchester. This in particular is Eastern Bloc Records, home of the hits. Where you'll buy records where people like Inspiral Carpets, Happy Mondays, the Magistrate Fee.
The Stone Roses.
Yeah.
And if you come down here, 828 State.
And these are the kind of people to blame if you're fed up to the back teeth of being that Manchester's a hip place and a happy place. Or rather, in some ways, it's our fault as well, because people working for publications like ours have bummed them up, rather, in the last few months. And is it that great? Well, yeah, I think it is, really. What about you?
I don't know, I just think they're a bunch of northern scumbags. Badly dressed, bad haircuts.
I'd been a sort of frustrated muso years ago, and I wanted to make records, basically. But it's a very expensive pastime, so you've got to have something to pay for it. So I decided to open a record shop in Manchester.
It started through Eastern Bloc Record Shop. There was a few groups in Manchester when Eastern Bloc first opened, taking in tapes in there.
I mean, we sort of financed Inspiral carpets from the shop. We financed 808 State. We financed Gerald for a while.
The 808 sound is to do with like not having any real instruments in it, hardly at all. You know, it's complete machine sound.
You know, we actually took our name from their best-selling drum machine, Roland drum machine.
Basically, these machines allowed us to make black music for the first time. You know, not having a natural sense of rhythm or anything. You know, basically, with a drum machine, you can get funky straight away.
Nicholas Lockett, alias MC Tunes, joined the band in 84, 85, when me and Andrew used to play around with some stuff. He was shelved for quite a while 808 State was maturing. Recently we was in the studio putting the bassist to a track. Tunes came in and said, I am rapping on this track. Went in the studio, rapped on it, and now that tune is called The Only Rhyme That Bites.
The only rhyme that bites, the fact will I attack the mic. Demon rhymes like a script from Fright Night. Move like a poet, design like a sculpture. Call from steel, constructing my culture. Stick with my clip, automatic, fully loaded. Lyrics and let their beats my component. Put together like a 7-foot sledgehammer. Rock the 24 track like a death jammer. Now I'm equipped, suit up to the front teeth. And see my limits with a rhyme and a family. That I'm unstoppable, two punks up like cannibals. Don't like what I say, fool, then sue me for liable. And step it up to a cancer like a stallion. My boy Sally, Manchester's battalion. Now you heard, the North at its heights. The drum drop will let you know the rhyme bites. The only rhyme that bites. The only rhyme that bites.
Okay, here we are in Amsterdam, the drugs capital of Europe. I've left Stuart behind in Dry. He was so fascinated with the furniture, we decided to leave him there. Over there, in that Gothic building, is where Happy Mondays are staying. And later on, if we're lucky and decided to do it, in this building, the Paradiso, a converted church, they'll be playing.
With the groovy sound like the Happy Mondays, people tend to forget about the lyrics. So does the band, I heard. Yeah. Is it important to sing about anything?
No, not really.
I come from Holland, the north of Holland, Friesland. And I know the Manchester bands. This means not the football club, but it means the Manchester bands. Like New Order, Revenge, Stone Roses, Happy Mondays.
Here we are backstage at the GMX Festival, the GMX Centre. Happy Mondays finally made it back to Manchester, and tonight they'll play their biggest gig ever. Over the weekend, 18,000 people will see them, and I suppose this is Manchester's coming of age.
to them.
Alright, so take the look now and hold it for about half a minute while we do this business.
Every minute of my spare time has been aimed at music, and they start thinking, you know, is our lad wasting his time? And I think my family have started to realise that I'm not wasting my time, and I think they're quite proud of what we have achieved, really, over the, you know, especially over recent months.
I think we've always had our own sort of individual sound, and even if there wasn't like this Manchester business going on at the moment, it wouldn't make any difference to us, because I still think we'd be where we are now.
Okay, playback.
We're making a video for our single, This Is How It Feels. So we've just got a whole team up here of camera crews and people doing makeup, people sort of with props and things like that. So we're just putting it together, really.
We'll be shooting until about 10 or 11 tonight, and I mean, if it develops into a blizzard, that's better for us. You know, that's what we want. We want real extreme. And we pride ourselves in the fact that we can do that.
She can't say, they can't see, putting it down to another bad day. So this is how it feels to be lonely. This is how it feels to be small. This is how it feels when your word means nothing at all.
Alright. Now, if you're the kind of socially inadequate who spends the time reading the music press, you might be getting sick and tired of this kind of thing. Mancunians splashed all over the front covers of the music papers. Of course, the allegation is that the Mancunian scene is a complete creation of the addled brains that run things like this, the New Musical Express. And there's a grain of truth in that. It may be correct that we have gone a little bit bonkers, shall we say, over the Manchester bands, but then that is the role of the music press, isn't it, to go bonkers over certain things that come our way. Now, if you come this way, Stone Roses on the cover, Stone Roses on the cover again, Spiral Carpets on the cover. So maybe there is some truth in these allegations that, you know, like Skiffle and the New Romantic movement before, that we are creating something where it isn't really there. But, well, let's have a see. Here are some people deliberating about what goes on our cover.
Well, this is the initial deliberation. This is what we're thinking about, Stuart.
Yeah?
What do you reckon?
I reckon it's top.
Yeah?
And nice one, and all those kind of things.
Do you think the E is big enough to get the message home?
Well, what message would that be, Danny?
It's in the chart. We think that everything begins with an E. What was the other one we had?
Sean to be wild.
Sean to be wild.
Yeah. We've got other ones. What? Now that's the one for strange people in the street.
Well, Bez looks suitably manic there, doesn't he?
Would you buy this paper though? That's the question if you ask yourself.
Yeah.
Small children frightened.
Yeah.
It's just another man coming down.
My only reservation about that one is literally whether you can recognise Sean Ryder because he's got those sunglasses on.
You can
recognise
him.
But with the words Sean Ryder underneath.
And a big arrow pointing at his face.
And with a big letter E, I think it's fairly obvious that it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is fairly recognisable. The shades do make him look a little bit Tom Cruise.
A potty gun. All right, people. Right, here we are. Okay, we're in Sam Studios. Right, you're about to get some rare footage of MC Tunes, king kicking thing in the area. Right, I'm gonna fly up here. Studio. This is like a big multi-complex, and we're like in Hammersmith in London somewhere, just off Portobello Road. What we're doing today is that we're doing a mix of one of the tracks for the album, which is A Day in the Life of a Heroin Addict, which is written to commemorate and dedicate to my uncle, who passed away a short while back. We're heading into the studio now. This is just like it's like a complex. There's like a few rooms in there, and like the studios just get bigger in this place. Yeah, here we are. Check it out. The thing. This is the engineer. He's doing his bit. We've got everything ready, and I'm ready to pump some lyrics. You see, when I came down here, what I did is I just walked into the studio. I said, right, here I am. You want to sign me up? like that, you see. And I rapped at them, and that's when the deal was signed. And they all love me down here. All them women are mad for me. All the women are mad for me down here. So, this is where I live. This is where I work. This is my life. And these are my rhymes. So check it out.
I spent all last night sleeping on street corners. My head's aching and I'm shaking like I got pneumonia. I'm in debt, my last days was on tick. I've got a problem, can't see past my next fix. I'm 18, got my head in a guillotine. 0 prospects, but that don't mean nothing. 8 stone 3, my own worst enemy. I have no woman and my family disown me. I'll make some money before my last curtain. I need it fast to stop my whole body hurting. I'll take a walk to see what play I can stalk. I feel sick, like I ate a pound of raw pork. Can't see past my next fix. Can't see past my next fix. I clock a Benz, briefcase, suit and businessman. I see no wallet but a diamond ring on left hand. I grip a stick but my hand's still trembling. It's do or die, I'll take him out with one swing. I lack strength, I couldn't knock the fucker out. He kept screaming as the blood entered in his mouth. Then he was still, silent, no body movement. I felt a chill but my feelings were irrelevant. No remorse for the victim, no compromise. I cleaned him quick but the pain just intensified. I reached the ditch, the hole I had quested for. The 12th floor with a steel-plated front door. Can't see past my next fix.
After school, I was doing dance music, and he was just rapping in Market Street. He got his act together. He knew Gerald Simpson, a guy called Gerald, from a long time ago. He got involved with him. Used to go up in Jed's attic and make tunes, rap all night with the Rap Assassins. Me and Andy used to go down there, and it was like a communal meeting place. Gerald's attic bedroom.
I've lived in my side all my life. I was living in the flats there, and there was nowhere to play apart from on a croft. You'd be either throwing stuff over the balcony, playing chicken on the motorway, or burning rubbish on the croft. I used to do a bit of DJing in the youth club in Rochelle, and I started listening to the music of Detroit, which has been a really strong influence.
We are in Detroit, Michigan, and my name is Derek May.
I went over to Detroit to do a mix with Derek May on Automatic because I thought he'd be the best person, because he's been an influence for 3 years now on the music that I make. So I thought it would be taking the cream to the cap, really. It was once a big industrial city, and I could see, the influences. So it's like a dance music, but it's really electronically based.
Gerald is a really nice guy, and he had asked me if I could work on a few of his tracks for him. Just got in there, got a little funky, just took off a few clothes and ended up stripping the whole song. Came out with a complete different woman than I went in with. But it's almost like I just dug up a diamond and it's really rough, and I can't quite see myself ever taking this diamond and polishing it, because it's beautiful just the way it is. And I enjoy the fact that it's a rough, beautiful piece of artwork. And that's the sort of music, that's the sort of feeling that I get from the music and from what we do. His music, I think, is the most important thing to him as it is to us. And it's strange that he fits into this area over here with us. Maybe it's the DNA in the water, I don't know. Here in Detroit, I can't say that when I look at a building, I want to cry and make a beautiful song, or I want to make an angry song. There are musicians that are influenced by what we're doing, but overall, I don't think anybody over here gives a damn what the hell is going on Buku's side of the world, left or right. I mean, the brothers here are not even interested whatsoever with what somebody else is doing.
There's loads of barren sort of empty space, and it was really harsh. It's like music with no distraction. There's loads of people been influenced by Derek May that I know. There's no denying it. Dance music comes from America.
I mean, how good these bands are in Manchester is hard to say at the moment. Ultimately, I suspect we'll remember about 5 records between the lot of them. But that's probably a better contribution than we remember from all the bands in 1990 who came out of London, frankly.
Yeah.
Well, I know that there's a sort of backlash to come. I know sort of all the journalists out there, you know, will try to knock it down now. They build things up and try to knock it down, you know, and you know that's going to come next. And I mean, it sort of saddens me that you've not seen the true picture of what Manchester's really like, you know, and it's sort of been misrepresented. You know, it's been about scallies and flared jeans and things like that, which is not really what it's about at all. It's about the spirit of the people there.
What do you mean by that?
Well, sort of to be a northerner and to be a Mancunian, you know, it's something that's sort of inside you. It's sort of a broadness. It's sort of, you know, it's in the nature of the fighters. They won't just sort of lie down and take it, basically, you know. And it's a sort of fight back from the inner cities.